Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Share with you 3 ways that you can absolutely keep the new level that you have just created when you have shifted your ceiling into your new floor. So, and I want to talk about it somatically because, listen, I have literally had some crazy success in quantum leaps and then sabotaged it unconsciously. So I don't want that to happen to you. And so I have 3 ways that you can help prevent this from happening to you somatically. Okay, so the first one is you're going to want to get to know what it feels like in your body as you approach an upper level limit. This does require you to be very clear on what those beliefs are, on what feels like it's out there somewhere or ahead of you or in your next level shift or identity, because that's the thing that you're striving, achieving, trying to get to, right? So think of it like a line, and you have an arrow that's approaching this. That approaching the upper level limit is you working actively toward that goal or that next level. So how does it feel in your body as you approach that? And where do you feel it? What does that feel like, right? Which is the felt sense experience of somatic work. So we want to know, where do you feel this? And what does it feel like in terms of sensations? So you're going to have to identify the edge, approaching the edge. Then once you're beyond that upper level limit, right, you've reached that line, the arrow has broken through into that new level. You've done it, you've achieved it, you're there, you've got it. Now it might feel like, ooh, this is too good to be true. Did this really happen? It's like a pinch me moment, right? Can I keep this? A lot of women that get to this next level, it does feel like it's too good to be true, or they're so scared to take their foot off the gas pedal that originally got them there because they're afraid that they're not going to be able to keep it once they let their foot off the gas pedal. So we've got to normalize it and neutralize it, right? That means we got to titrate even the good stuff, because if it feels like the good stuff is taking off without you and it's out of control and it's just too much, what does our body do? Even the good stuff, it feels like is a perceived threat. So your body is going to want to seek to unconsciously sabotage that success. Think about it like this. 70% of lottery ticket winners actually spend away all of their winnings. I don't think that they consciously sit there and say, you know what? I'd really love to go back to struggle, survival, and chasing money. But it's what their body knows. And so on some unconscious level, they go back to what they know. It's comfortable and familiar even when it's not in alignment to what they cognitively desire. So you might cognitively desire a certain level of abundance or love or this, whatever next level is for you. But somatically, you can't hold, keep, and receive it, right? So we subconsciously block or sabotage. So what does it feel like in your body? Like, where do you feel this? And what does it feel like when you're just beyond that upper level limit, having achieved it? So you might refer back to a time or remember a specific time that you have done this. And you can pause this podcast throughout if you need a few minutes to drop in and connect. I suggest closing the visual cortex, which is your eyes, and looking down toward your heart space to connect somatically. And then the last one is, if you were to look back on a time that in retrospect, it's like, oh shit, I totally fucking sabotaged there. Like I had this pie in the sky, too good to be true, waiting for the other shoe to drop, like pinch me moment where I got the thing I wanted. And then I fucking sabotaged it. I ruined it. What did that sabotage look like? So yes, we want to look at what those behaviors were, But first, I want you to connect to, where do you feel that in your body? When you notice that, as you think about and remember the sabotage, it's likely in retrospect. Usually it's really hard to identify in the moment, unless you do this kind of work and you know how that feels. Where do you feel that in your body? And what does that feel like? Beyond that, I want you to take some notes. And as you remember where you feel this and what it feels like, what were the behaviors? How did this show up as sabotage for you? What did you do? The sneaky part about sabotage is it often sounds very rational, right? Fear can talk us out of the very thing that we want. So it sounds extremely rational. Oh, it's not aligned, it might say. Is it not aligned, or is it just uncomfortable? Right? Or does it feel too good to be true? And now your body, your nervous system is seeking for evidence that proves that. Take relationships, for example. Take healthy love. If you don't know healthy love, and then you get in a healthy relationship, woo, that'll spin ya. That could be an upper level limit in love. Right? This feels too good to be true. There's got to be something wrong with this guy. Why is he so interested in me? What does he want? And we start to look for evidence to confirm our bias. The bias being, this is too good to be true. I don't know easy, healthy, safe love. So those are the three things that I want you to connect to somatically. I'm just going to recap here, right? Talking about an upper level limit. This is where that ceiling becomes the new floor, the new baseline. So first we want to know how it feels and what it feels like to approach the edge of the upper level limit. Then we want to identify the upper level limit having been achieved. Where do you feel that? What do you feel? And then lastly, if you have come down from that and you have sabotaged the success, what does that feel like? Where do you feel that, and what does that feel like? Because this is how you get to know the language of the body. And then when this shows up again, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I've been there before. This might be sabotage. And you can at least exercise the power of pause to say, is this sabotage? If I'm really being honest with myself, I feel like I know this place. This feels familiar to me. You'll catch it sooner, right? So the goal here is to really understand where you feel this, how it feels, and how this all manifests for you, how it shows up in the external. Many people skip the entire somatic part, right? They don't know how to connect. They aren't sure where to start. I've just given you a very loose framework to do that. And they focus a lot on the external behaviors, rationalizations, justification, again, which sounds really good when we're trying to find safety, even when it's not really what we want. And so that's where sabotage can be very, very sneaky. So it'll be up to you to identify those things. Let me know how this practice works for you. I would also love to know, what upper level limit have you achieved? Where have you achieved this in your life? And did it stick? I know exactly how and where I sabotaged, but now, more importantly, I know in my body what was going on before it happened. I felt it before it happened. In fact, I felt the shift a few months before it happened, and I was tuned into it, but the mistake I made was I thought, ooh, this is just a tiny energetic fissure, when in fact it was not a fissure at all. It was a foundational crack. And I get to listen louder when that happens, because I'm actually quite attuned to myself, my body, and my patterns. And so knowing that now, I get to believe myself. So let me know. Let me know what comes up for you. And I'm excited for you to try this practice out so that you can have hold and keep more. Shatter those glass ceilings that were never fucking there.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously though, thanks for listening.
If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.